Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming and more Arc Raiders. Today we're talking about the augments in the current patch. We're going to put things into a tier list just to compare, but I kind of want to talk about the fact that there are a lot of augments that don't make sense, that aren't really being used at all, and for good reason. I also want to talk about the kind of things I'd like to see change. What kind of rebalance are we going to talk about? Now, the team have acknowledged that we do have a rebalance patch coming, and in fact, it's already here. Dropping as I was making this video, the rebalance basically affected the kettle, lowering the fire rate potential, which was only reachable by the macro, and the trigger nade, which now has more of a delay when you actually throw it before you can actually explode it, and the AoE itself has more of a drop-off and a smaller AoE radius. Not really mattering for PvE, but obviously nerfing it in PvP where it's overly good. This is interesting because in their post about this, they also specifically called out the sticher and then haven't rebalanced the sticher in any way, nor was this a kettle nerf since no one was reaching 600 fire rate naturally only with the macro according to them. I'm certainly hoping for more balance changes to come very soon and hopefully affecting the augments and other stuff as we're going to discuss. So let's begin. So let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. Starting with your basic kits. So your free kit, which is always going to be incredible. You could argue that this could be an S just because you start with stuff that's free. So we have all the Mark 1s, so let's just put them all in. This is probably how I would order them. The reason that the looting Mark 1 is even above a free kit is because you actually get one safe pocket and in general more space to work with outside of the weight capacity, which is important. In my opinion, it's the best Mark 1 overall. Now we can get into the more interesting stuff, starting with the Combat Mark 2 in B tier, slightly above the rest. The Combat Mark 2 is an awkward one. With 55 weight limit, it's not terrible, but it has only 18 backpack slots, the one safe pocket, one single special slot for a grenade, and then yeah, it's one of your first reasonable options for heavy shields, which are basically never used in the current meta. Also, that could do with a rebalance. So it's a cost-effective way to use heavy shields, and the only option for that, the earliest one. But as heavy shields aren't relevant, I'm not going to put it higher than B tier. When you get to rare augments and above, you also get passives. The Combat Mark II restores 1 health every 5 seconds. But when damage is taken, that effect is paused for 30 seconds. The healing is minuscule, so it's barely relevant as a passive. Absolutely hilarious, and maybe one of the most offensive epic augments then is the other augment I'm putting in B tier. That is the Combat Mark III flanking variant. So flanking is a problem. It's an epic augment, which means the materials you're going to use to craft could be put into any of the other epic augments. For this, you get light shields only, which is terrible. 60 kg weight, which is pretty bad compared to the other epic augments that have 70 or 80. 20 backpack slots, so what are you getting for all of these downsides? Well, you get 3 utility slots, which is whatever, and you get a passive. Stowed or unequipped pistols and hand cannons are 33% faster to equip, so you pull them out quicker. That's it. In my opinion, this is one of the most offensive epic augments because no one is using it because it's just got too many problems. You can't even use a medium shield even if the passive was relevant. In my opinion, this needs an extreme change to be relevant. I like the idea of engaging with specific types of weapons, like this is the pistol related one. What if each pistol had its own unique passive if you were wearing this augment? Say a 5 or 10 second buff or whatever. So if you have this augment equipped and you have a hairpin that's currently holstered and you pull it out, you get a buff that lasts a certain amount of time. And with the hairpin, it gives it ridiculous fire rate, like comically fast, like your character's holding the gun sideways and like cocking it between shots like a machine gun. Say the burletta, the reload speed is essentially instant, like you hold a second mag next to the gun, and as the first one drops out, you instantly put the other one in. This is more difficult for guns that are more meta, such as the anvil and venator. You could do something like the anvil has no kick between shots, so you can accurately mag dump, or say the venator has essentially no vertical or horizontal recoil. But we're talking about meta guns that are going to get stronger with this. That wouldn't work. So obviously balancing would need to be specific. You have to have the gun holstered and then you have to pull it out to actually get the effect. And then say how long the buff lasts. Either way, this augment could be a cool concept for a pistol focused setup as an augment. And what they could do with the other underused epic augments, such as aggressive, could be like an assault rifle focused one or a shotgun focused one, and do something actually interesting. Now, actually interesting, let's go to A tier. Pretty much at the top of it, honestly, we have the Looting Mark II. That's right, a blue rare augment above a lot of epics. The fact of the matter is, a rare augment is easier to craft than an epic one. It's just more accessible parts. Then with the looting Mark II, you have a 60 kg weight limit, which is phenomenal for a rare augment. Then you have 22 backpack slots, and the special augment slots, 3 trinket slots. So it's 25 slots you're going to be able to use. The downside is light shields only, unlike Combat Mark II, Tactical Mark II. But the whole purpose of this is to have the optimal looting augment. Technically, you could get more weight with other options, but you're not going to get more slots. This is the ultimate baseline for me. I'm either using a looting Mark II or something specific or better for other purposes. But if I'm doing loot runs, it's looting Mark II or better at a minimum. And I think the immense value it has for that reason has to have it at the top of A. Next up then, let's go for the Tactical Mark III Defensive, the Epic Augment. 60 kg weight limit is reasonable. 20 backpack slots, you got 5 quick use slots. It can actually use heavy shields, which is a nice thing. And it comes with the integrated shield recharger. This essentially allows you to shield recharge for free without committing your own resources, also saving you a slot in that way. So if you're wanting a looting rig, this works. If you're wanting a combat setup, this works. If you want to use heavy shields, it's one of your top options. Arguably the top option. And the benefits of saving on shield recharges, because you have this integrated one, can't be understated. It's decent. Also decent, but for not specifically obvious reasons, you have the Tactical Mark III healing. There are some big downsides for this one. 55 kg weight limit is minuscule for an epic augment. 16 backpack slots is really bad. Only 4 quick use slots. Your augment slots are for healing items, which can be useful. It can use medium shields, which is a saving grace for it. And then its passive is terrible. When revived from being downed, you get this healing cloud, and it restores 20 health over 10 seconds, which is minuscule. And it has a cooldown for some reason. The fact that this isn't an AoE heal for your team that revived you is stupid. So all I've listed is pretty bad downsides. Why is it in A tier? Literally because it's your alternative option for the better option for 3 safe pocket slots. So if you're going to go kill the queen or whatever it is, and you're going to get some really valuable stuff, and you want to protect that, then this is a great option because it has 3 safe pockets. And I would run it for that purpose pretty much specifically, but if I had the option of the better one, the survivor, then I would never run this. So you could even argue this should go down to B, but I think 3 safe pockets is why it's in A tier. Also A tier then, we got the Combat Mark III Aggressive. You can use heavy shields with this. You do have 65 kg base weight limit. You have 18 backpack slots, which is not amazing, but you do get 2 grenade slots, which is pretty handy. And again, another one that can actually use heavy shields, so decent there. But with only 1 save pocket, it's got a problem, and its passive is bad. You get 2 health every 5 seconds. And then the same concept, if you take damage, you get a 30-second cooldown on that effect. So over time, you do definitely get some healing, and it's double the other one, the Combat Mark II, but it's still too minimal. In my opinion, they could literally double this and it would still feel very meh. So I would want an extreme buff to this, or a rework, in fact, of this aggressive line. Like I said, let's get something interesting. Defensive is like the shotgun passive one. Aggressive, this one could be your assault rifles. Like, say this makes your tempest function in a unique or interesting way. Or actually makes the bettina good to use, like it's more efficient with ammo or something. You save half of the ammo you fired when you reload. I don't know. I think it needs some sort of juicing in a more interesting way, and that's how I feel about augments in general. Last up for A tier then, we have Looting Mark III Cautious. If you are wanting to loot then, the idea is that this is going to be better than the Mark II. It has a 70 weight limit compared to the 60, and it has 24 backpack slots compared to 22. As well as having 2 safe pockets like the Looting Mark II. However, you don't get the 3 trinket slots. So for looting maps, the purpose of a Looting Mark II, you actually get 1 more slot there that's relevant. On the other hand, the Mark III Cautious does have 5 quick use slots compared to 4, so if you can fit something there, then you could save space, but you're more reliably going to get use out of those trinket slots. And again, this has got more investment to actually craft compared to Looting Mark II. Funny detail of this one is you get these integrated binoculars. Irrelevant. It's light shields only, which sucks for an epic augment. And it has this passive. When your shield breaks, it gives you a weak adrenaline shot with a fixed cooldown. Which is neat and all, but adrenaline shots, we have them infinitely anyway. In my opinion, this should have something that actually matters, such as, say, that adrenaline shot effect that happens. What it should do is give you movement speed for a brief time, like a super sprint. The whole cautious idea, you get shot and you run sprinting around into cover or away. Let's say like 5 seconds of double sprint speed or something insane. Could be really fun, and that's what I want to see from the augments. Something actually interesting about these passives. So it's interesting. I see it more as a side grade with more investment than a straight upgrade from the looting Mark II, which is just so efficient for the cost to craft it and run it. But don't get me wrong, if I had them lying around like I found a looting cautious, then sure, I'd use it. Okay, that brings us to our last two, the obvious ones. We have the looting Mark III Survivor and we have the tactical Mark II. The Survivor's insane. You have 80 kg weight limit, you have the 3 safe pockets, you have 20 backpack slots, 5 quick use, and yes, it can actually use medium shields. So it's arguably the best augment in the game for the protection of the safe pockets, for the medium shield, for the weight limit. You have slightly less pockets to work with in regards to full looting, but then you have the 3 safe pockets, which makes up for it. It'd be the augment that I would run every single time if I had it for free. Meanwhile, you got the tactical Mark II, which has a much lower weight limit of 45 at its base. Obviously broad shoulders, not so bad, but it does have smaller backpack slots than you'd like, 17. With 1 utility slot, the 5 quick use slots, can use medium shields. It's decent, but the big deal here is the passive, which is literally life-saving. It causes a small smoke grenade effect around you for a while, which when someone ambushes you, literally saves your life, especially in team fights. If you're running PvP lobbies, you see this augment constantly popping smokes to this day. And that's because it's the go-to cheap option for PvP as a PvP augment. It's incredibly popular because of how good it is for that purpose. But you're not running this to do like loot runs. But even there, it has immense value because if someone attacks you while you're looting, the smoke will save your life or give you a fighting chance. So it remains top tier. So yeah, there's my conclusion. I want the augments to massively change. I want them to actually have interesting passives. I want every single epic augment to allow medium shields. I want the specific ones to get unique effects that make engaging with them worth it. The flanking is terrible for pistols. If you want a pistol augment, then make pistols significantly better when you're using this thing. Let's go with that theme for, say, aggressive augment. Make that the assault rifle one. The defensive augment, make that the shotgun one or whatever. Healing could be heavy machine guns. And I want things to be way more interesting. Like the cautious augment, instead of getting a normal adrenaline shot, I want super sprint speed when it triggers. Augments could be a really interesting system, and all they need to do is tweak them with some rebalance. So if you guys have any interesting ideas of how to make the augments more interesting, let us know. I'd love to hear it. I've been Hollow, you've been you, and thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.